I'm at Grace Church Road. I went to Waynesboro to bring this man down to this address, and now he's trying to force his way into a house. I'm afraid to move my vehicle. Just like in there.
It's inside the house now?
Yeah.
You have your doors locked?
It's open. I'm in a van.
You need to make yourself safe, okay? Even if you've got to drive away from there to get away from him and close that and lock that door. Do that for me now, please.
Okay, wait a minute.
Boom, 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 boom. Hello, guys.
Hey.
Hey, everyone. Happy Wednesday.
I know. Wednesday the 28th.
Yeah, I see Truth and Transparency is on right now. With 4.k people watching. Wow.
Oh, well, we're going to have to get 5.
Yeah, we're yeah, we're coming for you.
We only have 4,975 more to go.
Yeah, no problem. Get that in the next 5, I think. Yeah.
Hit that like and subscribe button.
Hey, everyone that's in here right now. It always takes time anyway for people to dwindle in, but did you say that Truth and Transparency had another video?
I watched a video this morning. I wasn't sure if she put it out last night or today. That was like it was the second call to the house that the Idaho police had done that night of. The date is technically September 2nd, but it was like 12:34 a.m. So it was the same night as that other call that was at that party on the 1st of September.
Yeah.
This one was interesting to me only because Xana is the one that came to the door, and so they showed all 3 body cam footage from all the officers as they talked to Xana, which was just kind of sad and like it. It's always weird to like watch someone knowing what you know now. Because I mean, she was just so innocent and young, and
I know, just kind of like when we heard Maddie's voice on the phone, it's just like you're hearing it, but then by the same token, it's like that other half of you knows that she's not there. And
I know, and she's such a typical college girl because in the thing, you could tell they came up and the loud music was playing and they shut off, and then she answers the door and she's like, I'm just trying to go to bed. I'm just trying to go to bed, officers.
Is that the one that she has like the red hoodie, right? Is that the one?
Yeah, she's got like your little shorts on and like the red hoodie or whatever. Yeah. But she's like, I don't know. I had some friends over, but I'm just going to bed.
Yeah. I'm just going to bed.
Which is, nothing nefarious. She's just a college kid.
Yeah, I know. Still very sad. So I didn't, as you guys noticed, I didn't put Delphi in the topic tonight. If Delphi comes up and we talk a bit about it, so be it. But really, there's really nothing at the moment, worth regurgitating to me. It's I have a hard time talking about things when there's, nothing new really to talk about. If I come across something, we will. But, we'll still always talk about Delphi. But just at the moment, it's just, again, Adam's the same way, right? If we don't have nothing new, why try to ride it? And so we have been as well paying attention to the Idaho 4 for over a month now and stuff like that. So today will be about the Idaho 4. And, if somebody does have a question about Delphi, feel free to ask, or bring it up still. But in tonight's live, and I just want to, let's just do one thing first. Thanks, Ozzy. First of all, welcome, Alexa. Thank you very much again for joining us tonight. Yeah.
Thank you for having me again.
Are your guests coming tomorrow or?
Oh, don't get me started. Oh, there's so much drama. I got a call. I got a call late today, and they said that I know that their kids are sick, and they were like, "We want to know if it's okay if we come, even though they have fevers." And I'm just
that's awkward.
Oh,
Okay.
No, it's not
You can
okay.
see my facial expressions. Thank
Did
you.
you tell them no, it's not okay?
I am just saying to myself, if my children are sick
Yeah.
and they have fever, stay home. So I'm
And
like,
they've been sick enough.
I'm trying to be
Right.
polite, and I said, you know why don't you stay one extra day until Friday, like we originally said, and give the kids, a day more because it's going to be awkward here with all the noise and everything.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, okay, but obviously they make it the whole family, even my family back home, in Europe, it's in the tread, so I know
Yeah.
that I'm going to get in shit one way or another. Sorry.
No one can blame you for that. I mean, you have your kids
Well,
it's went to your house for the last 2 months, and
I know. I got a call from my mom, and my mom was like upset, and my mom was like, "You're so rude. Like, you should say it's okay to come if they want to come." And I'm like, "What do you mean it's okay to come? If they're sick, I don't want to get
No. That's
Thank
not
you.
rude.
No.
And I'm like, you guys know what I went through. I mean, I have a very low immune system, and I went through
Yeah.
the whole, chemo, and not too many years ago, and I'm like, I still have to be very careful.
Yeah.
So-
No.
Personally, I think it's rude that someone would expect you to
Thank you.
host them
Yeah,
if they
have
have
them.
a fever.
Yes. Honestly.
Yes, and
Because it never feels
so I'm
like-
trying to be polite.
Yeah.
I know.
No.
So I said, okay,
Yeah.
and at the end they decided. So I said, okay. Oh, and then they were like, we're coming tomorrow night. So I made plans for tomorrow morning, and now it's like, oh no, we're leaving at 6 a.m. So we should be in New York by 8. And I was like, what? I was like, wait a second. I'm like, I thought you guys were coming at night. And they're like, oh no, we decided. And I'm like, who is the we? Because it's my house. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we spoke to your mom. And I'm like, my mom is staying here for a few days, but doesn't live here. It's my
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
So-
And who is it that's coming, Alexa?
It's my aunt. It's my aunt, her daughter, and her daughter's husband and her kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
but it's just so.
Not
my
right.
I know it's hard with family.
Yeah, it is. And now they texted and they said, okay, we'll be in New York tomorrow.
Oh,
Even though I said, take the extra day. And I even told them, listen, if your kids are really sick, I said, even though I already have everything ready, I am okay canceling the party and postponing it for next week. Actually, it would be better because my birthday's on the 4th. So I said, I have no
Aw.
problem with that. But they were like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no.
So yours
And
is on the same day as my son's. That's right.
Yeah, it is. It is on
I
the
thought
same
so,
day.
but I wasn't sure yesterday, and I was like, so I didn't want to say it, but
No, it is on the 4th. And
Yeah.
I even said, if worst case scenario, I said I can pack everything up and we go over there next weekend. I have no problem with that.
Mhm.
So now
I would-
I'm just like, it's
I
awkward.
would really talk to your mom, and I would have her just be, if you can get her on your side, I think that'll be, and just be like, Mom, you've got to convince them that this isn't. I'm not trying to be rude. It's just that I don't
It's
don't
not.
want.
You know,
Your kids are going to go, because then your kids are probably going back to school, what, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
So if they come this weekend, that's right around the time your kids would probably catch on with whatever they got, and then they go back to school and give it to everyone there,
yeah.
Mhm.
My kids have fevers, but
and
hey,
they miss school.
Yeah, I mean,
just throw them into the mix of everybody.
And
That's
not to
just,
mention, who wants to drive with kids and that have fevers? Like I would, if it was my kids, I wouldn't want. Well,
and yeah, especially with fevers, and you want, when you're sick, you want to stay in your bed. You don't want to see anybody, you want to hear noise. And I get it. We haven't celebrated because of COVID. I get it. I understand that. And the kids are excited. And then they're like, oh, are we going to go to the tree on Friday night? And I'm like, everything is closed on Friday night, because usually we drive. And I said everything from like 36 all the way to 52nd Street, everything is closed.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Ugh.
So it was supposed to be tomorrow night that we were supposed to go see the tree. And they're like, oh, okay, we can still go see the tree. And I'm like,
Okay, they have it blocked out for New Year's already. Right.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I just,
because they already started all the security protocols for
is
New
that the
Year's.
Yeah,
big
of
tree?
course.
Is that the big tree that they light up?
yeah, the
Yeah,
Rockefeller
Rockefeller.
Center, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty.
Yeah, but we
as
have a
shit.
tradition that we usually go every year, before New Year's. Oh, usually it's after New Year's, truthfully.
Yeah.
It's usually
Yeah.
we go with my family, the 4 of us before, and then we go with them after
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
first. But
No.
I'm like, whatever,
Yeah.
And somebody, I think it was Sharon that said, get them a motel. Believe me, I offered to pay. I said, you know what? I will pay for your hotel. I said, you can come. And I booked this hotel, and I said, listen, you can stay there. And they're like, no, we prefer to stay at your house. And I'm like,
Of course.
Yeah.
Alexa, not to.
I
It's
feel like
funny
I'm
because
listening to a movie. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, just dawned on me earlier this week that I have off tomorrow through Tuesday, which is rare that I have that many days off in a row. And so I was like, oh, my best friend lives in New York and in Brooklyn, and so I was like, maybe I could see if I can just last minute fly up to New York and go spend 4 or 5 days up there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked yesterday at plane tickets. $1,750 was the cheapest plane ticket I could get if I flew out tomorrow from Charlotte to New York, and that was with a connection.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, what are you doing? Like first class or something?
No,
Coach?
no, I literally just went on American Airlines website and just typed in Thursday through Monday, and that was what came up. There was one flight for $500, but it was flying through Newark, and I had 2 connections. I'm like, it's an hour and a half flight. I'm not doing that.
No.
So I'm not coming to New York, but I did have a wild hair that I might come spend New Year's in New York, because it's been a year since I've been up there.
Yeah, you should come. I mean, you should come soon, but don't pay that much money. That's insane.
No, I would never.
And I would say drive, but the weather's crap, so I wouldn't suggest.
Yeah, I can't pay that much money.
No,
that's crazy. Okay, let's give out some hellos here. Hey, RZ, there's Alexa. She made it in. Ray, how are you? Sharon Parker, Remy Stuff, how are you? And happy holidays again to everyone. Hopefully everything's going good for most people, and prayers for the people that are having a rough time. I know that my husband's was the neighbor that they'd known for a long time, and they were married for 55 years. She lost her husband, in 2022. They kept trying to get them to come put the thing on the railing, like the assistance people, in a sense, to come, older, and he ended up falling down.
You're lagging, sounding really bad.
Am I lagging really bad?
Yeah, you were lagging. I don't really hear
I do know Alexa's lagging. Let me go.
Well, I guess there she goes.
Hey, Purdue RN. Hey, Austin. Thank you for the compliment. Hey, Lisa. Lisa said, Alexa, are those bows or poinsettias? They are so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
They look like poinsettias to me, right?
The ones in the back. Yeah, on the tree. Yes. The tree or the where?
I'm assuming the curtains.
The curtains? Yeah, they're poinsettias. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe if it's better.
It's better so far. I know my family they were nervous with my niece being, 1 this year at the tree. And so they decorated the whole tree. It looks, they did poinsettias. Instead of doing like ornaments all over it, they just put poinsettias all in it. It was beautiful. But
I was going to say, hi, Diamond. How are you?
Sunny, what were you saying about your neighbor, your husband's neighbor?
Oh, just the fact that, her posting for Christmas time, and then she put a picture up of John, and it's just so sad because they were married for like 55 years. And you just, for all those people that have had heartache, whether it's in the missing and the murdered, or whether it's just, through regular course of death and stuff like that, now John didn't die, like meaning he fell, but it's just so heartbreaking because in my heart, I feel such sadness for Lorraine because, which reminds me, I feel such sadness for Lorraine because John's not there with her. 55 years married. That's your best friend. And they were just a great couple. I met them when I was out in England. They came over for New Year's. Just an amazing couple. So my heart just aches for her. And then my husband on Christmas told me that his uncle was told that basically you're living on borrowed time. Found out that he had cancer. He's like 45. But basically terminal. So basically it's kind of like when my dad went in. I remember when my dad went in, this is what I was told anyway. When my dad went in, he was told he had a year to live, like right then and there, basically once the results came back. And whenever they say a year, it means like 6 months. So my husband is feeling quite sad because, like this was the uncle, like their family is kind of broken on that side of the family. But this was the one uncle that that always like did stuff with them and stuff like that. So just be 45, go in, and then get told that you have terminal cancer, and you're just basically living on borrowed time right now.
Right.
Very, very heartbreaking. So again, prayers to anyone that is suffering and going through anything to do with loss and grief, of course. Purdue says, Alexa, you look fabulous. Love the sparkle. I know. I feel like we're having a deja vu of yesterday.
I know. I said that.
Beautiful earrings. Different shirt, though. Different shirt.
Yeah, different shirt. I said.
Sonny, you should have put your black sparkly shirt on.
Yes.
You know, if I could find it, I'd actually have to do some laundry, and I haven't lately. Probably if I did some laundry.
I think
everyone's so nice with the compliments tonight. Purdue, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Austin.
Adam, you look fabulous.
Austin said his family or their family would show up and then tell them they were sick.
Yeah. Let's hi Nicole, how are you? Hey Purdue.
I know I had a client right before Christmas came in and they were like, "Oh, I've got bronchitis," and I'm like, "Well, then why are you here?"
Gosh.
So,
there's Callie. Callie's enjoying time with her son right now. I know you can't chat. You're on vacation, out playing. Happy New Year.
She's on vacation. Oh, yeah. I was like, where is she?
She went to the escape rooms, but like she sent me pictures of like this big Ferris wheel and stuff. So like,
tell her to enjoy herself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, she's here. Hi, Callie. I didn't even see her.
She's here, but she can't talk because she's like
she's
on vacation. But she's gonna on the New Year's Eve live. She said she was gonna come join because I think my sister is. Yeah.
When it's gonna be? Because now I'm booking. I don't care. What time is your New Year's thing? I'm like,
it will be same time, really. 6.
Oh, New Year's Day or New Year's Eve?
No, New Year's
Day.
Sunny, I have a question. So, are you gonna do your? Is it gonna be? Are you gonna stay on and do New Year's for your time?
Well, I'm not sure. I kind of live by Eastern Standard Time, to be honest with you. Everything I've even growing up, it's like, yeah, I do my own, but obviously I probably want to see my husband.
Well, you could join at the end. We could see you give your kid midnight kiss.
True. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking I might go to some friends, but
yeah.
But I wanted to also be here with everyone else. So.
Yeah. Well, again, I when it comes to Christmas time, I never really have expectations on things because people always got things to do and they're tired or this or that and stuff like that.
So I know we need to get into probably Idaho, but the reason I'm now more considering going to see the friends that invited me over is you've got to hear what happened to my good friend Rebecca, who I went to Portugal with and who I've traveled with and everything. She's in Ohio right now with her meeting her girlfriend's sister, girlfriend's family, entire family, staying at their house. Has been there for a week. Yeah, she probably doesn't want me saying this on YouTube, but they broke up today.
Oh no!
Wait,
and so
she broke up today?
So one of my best friends and her partner, but she's in Ohio at her partner's family's house. And she's not scheduled to fly home till Friday, and so now she's just there, and for another 2 days, with her now broken up with and the family, and so I'm like, so she invited me over for New Year's, and I was like, okay, I'll come.
Okay.
But I think we got her a rental car for tomorrow, so she might drive home tomorrow instead of taking the flight on Friday. I was like, that's got to be awkward.
Yeah, that is the beginning of a Hallmark movie right there. Yeah,
right? And then
I know.
Yeah, why give us the news.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Rebecca,
it just happened today, so she probably doesn't want me talking about it on YouTube. But
yeah,
I did. I was just like, oh, my heart. Well, because I'm like, oh, it's just one of those situations where you're like, you can't write it, because you're like,
yeah, I know. So. Imagine, I'm trying to think now of, couldn't have wait a couple days, right? So I'm trying to think to myself now, how many people broke up, I wonder, on Christmas Day? Who was those lucky people that got that special gift on Christmas Day? That was like, I can't even believe that people actually have the nerve to do that to each other on days like that. But then there's those times when people just get into arguments, right, over the stupidest stuff, and you always know it's the stupidest stuff
Right.
that usually is
Yeah.
why.
And I just wanted to be okay, but I was like, oh, I just felt so bad because then you're just you're not in your environment. You're stuck in with the airlines right now. Good luck trying to get on standby or something to come home early.
Yeah.
So I think my other friend got her a rental car, and I think she's gonna come home tomorrow. But anyway,
okay.
It's like poor thing.
Nothing to do with Idaho, but Revlon all day cream, or the night cream. I remember this lady comes in and she has the best skin because I worked in cosmetics, and then Clarins would sell their stuff for $500, and you're like, what crazy person would ever spend that? Okay, well, no offense, but the Chinese do, and obviously,
believe me, I have. My mom and I have spent spent less than my mother. My mom has spent, I think one cream was like $1,200.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And it's honestly, but the thing is, when you work in cosmetics, you know that, okay, there's some better quality things, but you can find something just as good, like I said, sometimes at a dollar store that you can spending whatever. And then you just find your little niche of what you like in the cosmetics. But what a ripoff. What a ripoff brand stuff is.
This one's beautiful. I'll tell you guys the name. I started using them. Best thing. And it's like, I think this one is like $22 and $20, I think.
Well, you got to tell us the names. They don't know.
Yeah, cheapest. It's Korean. Love the Korean.
We should we'll have to save those for the Ask Sunny and Lewis channel and do the beauty night with products.
Yeah,
I know.
Because I have a lot of tips and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I'm just inviting myself on again.
Especially with your skin. I mean, hello. I mean, mine is the lighting and everything. Yours is
I don't use. No, I don't use anything on my skin.
Oh, you should.
I don't use water. I use water. I actually don't even use soap. I use water.
Yeah, that's true. You know what, Adam? I don't use anything either. Never.
I feel like I get my skin's sensitive, and so I feel like a lot of stuff makes me break out, or it gives me redness.
There are some really good. Yeah, there are some good ones, but again, if you have sensitive skin, whatever. I mean, there are sensitive skin lines, obviously, but hey, you know what? If it works for you up into this age, why not?
I know I'm that person. I probably should have started using moisturizer and stuff 20 years ago, but
okay. Okay, let's get into Idaho before somebody calls us out, because we're not gonna. This live's not gonna be. Hey,
I know, for not staying on track.
That's yeah. Because I really didn't want to do a long live tonight, talk about some things with Idaho. So we're gonna talk about Jack. Actually, let me just take a look and see at the survey here. So 87% or 84 it just turned to said yes. Okay, so we're gonna talk about, so we're gonna talk about Jack Decor, or however you say his last name, Decor, let's just say. And obviously those pictures came out. Somebody leaked the pictures. I heard that there was a video, or was it just pictures? Because I didn't see a video. I just saw pictures.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that those pictures are from a video. I don't know if it's out yet or not. They're from surveillance. They're the surveillance camera.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it could have just been that somebody leaked out the pictures from it instead. But I don't know. I haven't seen a video myself. Because I think that Ikmal or somebody would have literally showed the video. They had the video, but he just showed pictures.
I bet someone has it. Well, probably. I would assume someone has it. I bet we'll see it in a day or two.
So we're going to talk about the Corner Club, Jack, and pretty much if that was Jack that was there or not. And I'm not going to play the audio. I'm going to do that in a separate video by itself. I'll play the little piece of the video where it just says, hey, what did you say to Adam?
Not me.
So, yeah. And again, and this is for me, I literally do not have any person of interest whatsoever. I've literally not even entertained that thought of, meaning I've entertained the thought of, okay, well, let's see. Why, for instance, why did everyone think that, say, Jack Decor was at home sleeping? Because was it just based on because it was talked about? of Haley trying to get hold of or messaging him. I think was it 10 times? 10 times?
Between the two of them, it was 10 times. It was 10 or 9 times. It was 6 times by Kaylee and 4 times by Maddie. And
Okay.
my understanding I know you and I talked about this a little bit earlier. My recollection of that came from Kaylee's family in an interview, and I can't remember which one it was. They talked about that. I think it was Kaylee's mother was saying that there was nothing suspicious, that he was home, he missed that unfortunately he was asleep and missed the calls. And even him being at the corner club, to me personally, doesn't mean that there's anything. That doesn't mean he's lying about being asleep. I mean, he could have easily been out at a bar, gone home, and fallen asleep. And I think I said to you, Sonny, earlier, I think the fact that they called him that many times actually makes him being there that night makes the whole call thing less odd or suspicious.
Yeah.
Because I would think that they probably would be like, well, if you were just with us an hour ago, why aren't you answering your phone? And I would see that being a logical reason as to why they would then continue to call him. And you know how people are with exes. You're like, oh, well, what's he doing if he's not answering his phone? He was just at the bar.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not reading into any of it one way or the other.
Because we know he didn't leave with them. We know that they left and walked with the Jack S guy. So it's not like they had plans to be with him then.
But do you think it does look like him, right?
I think it's him.
Okay.
I think
let me sorry, I'm just sending a photo to myself. I should have put it in there.
The hat, the facial, everything. I do think it's him. The shoes also, if you saw the shoes.
Right. I thought the shoes. Sonny has an interesting thing about the shoes.
Yeah.
But
the shoes.
We'll get to that. I want to know what the hat is, because I want to know how common is that hat. I mean, because again, I think it is him, but I also remember in the Kylie Rodney case, there was that instance where someone had on I believe it was a Oakland, was it a Raiders hat, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's Jagger."
Yeah.
I'm like, but how many people own an Oakland Raiders hat? So I'm not quite sure what hat this is.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure
but I would like if anyone knows in the chat what hat that is, I would like to know.
Yeah. Does anyone know what hat exactly that is?
Isn't that like the Michigan? Like
the M looks like a Michigan.
I think it's like a university. Something.
Yeah.
The M looks like the Michigan, but it's not the M. It's not the white wouldn't be with the Michigan, and then whatever wording is over the M, it wouldn't go with the Michigan thing. But the font of that M does look like the Michigan logo.
Yeah. I just literally grabbed a couple pictures last night off of Ikmel's live, to be honest with you. The hat looks slightly different, but very similar. Absolutely does not look different. So I disagree with you on that one. It's clear as day that the hat that's on his head is that same, it's that same one.
Yeah, the nose is the same. The eyes are the same.
Make a hat that way and make it virtually identical, and then but it looks similar but different. No. Right. It either to me is or isn't, because it's a very distinctive logo thing on there.
And you can see the dark bill. It's a white. It's a white. I mean, you can see the print on both of them. It's got the black bill.
Yeah. So let me just bring in these quickly too.
I'm sure someone out there knows what hat it is. I've not looked into it myself personally. Hey, Cremzilla, good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I disagree with you on that one, Austin. Whether or not you agree or not, but I spent a lot of time looking at the hat myself, and I'm going to go back to it. So it's clear as day that logo is the same logo that's on here. You can you can literally see the whole outline of it. And on top of that, so I'm going to say that I believe that Jack was there that night, but not that and then I sent Adam a message, and I'm like, okay, so I believe this is Jack, absolutely, but from looking at his face to his features to the same long jawline to the chin to just everything,
The
there's
nose, the eyes.
just everything, yeah, the eyes, nose, and the but hat, and then you have the shoes or whatever. So, but what significance does that make? I don't know
To
that it
me,
makes,
a
you
lot of
know.
people think it blows his alibi, and that's what people are speculating on. Like, and what
Yeah,
Nancy's saying here is his roommate said he was in his room at 8:30 p.m. But to me, that again doesn't make it suspicious because
right.
um, these college kids don't go out to bars at 8:30 p.m. So he might have been in his room at 8:30 p.m. He might have been in his room playing video games or doing something. He might have gone to that. And we know the girls didn't go to the bar until 10:15 is when I believe they left. So I mean, if he was in his room at 8:30, well, why would he be at the bar at 8:30? Those kids are not out that early. I mean, I don't know if anyone remembers being a Saturday night going out in college. You're not going out at 8:30 p.m. They show up around 10:30. Well, now they show up like midnight, but they show up like 10:30, 11. And so he could have been in his room at 8:30, still gone to the bar, and then still gone home and gone to bed. I mean, I did it countless
Right.
times in my 20s.
Okay, so
And if you fall asleep, sometimes after I'm not alleging that, but if you,
mhm.
sometimes when you do go out drinking, when you fall asleep hard,
Yep.
to the point where you would easily sleep through phone calls. And like, I know myself, my phone's on silent when I go to bed. So if my phone rings, my watch will vibrate, but my phone doesn't actually ring.
My husband keeps getting pissed off with me lately because he's like, "Why aren't you answering your phone?" And he keeps calling me on Messenger, and I'm like, "It's right in front of me, honey. I'm not even hearing it. It's on vibrate, but I'm not even hearing it at all." And that's with me not drinking or anything.
Right.
Like, I mean, just the other day I was at my sister's house, and my husband called me on Messenger. He's like, "Why didn't you answer your phone?" And I'm like, "I was literally sitting in front of it, like, did not hear it. It was not making even a sound." Um, so the thing about the shoes, to me personally, is that whoever said, "Oh well, Jack has these big feet, so he has these shoes,"
They just have big feet.
like right here, and then a lot of people were like, "Well, okay, like look at like this other pair." Well, Jack wears Nikes. Jack Decor. He wears Nike shoes, and both sets of his shoes that I've seen in pictures are Nikes. But
Yeah, the one have white laces and the other have the black.
yeah. Well, the thing is that if anyone truly looked at the shoes, they would understand that those shoes couldn't be the actual ones that people were trying to associate it with because of where the eyelets are. If they took a closer look at it, to be honest with you, it's not the same look as the other shoe. This shoe clearly has more black on it, but again, that's the difference between just going, "Oh yeah, they look like Jack shoes," but it's because it looks like Jack. But again, I believe 100% that it is Jack for sure, but not to be associated with the white shoes that say Nike. Kind of like, let's see here. Let's go back to his shoes. So the reason why is because I'll show you. Is because these are Jack's other shoes that are Nike. Now you can.
And those aren't the shoes I've seen attributed to it.
No, they were. You know what?
The picture I saw of him in it was a different pair of shoes.
I think, Adam, and let me just go to it really quick. 1 second. Just give me a second, and I'm gonna go to Jack.
And Nancy, what they said he was sleeping in everyone's house. And I mean, again, I'm not trying to defend Jack. I mean, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I mean, his room. I mean, when I was in college, a lot of times my roommates didn't know when I went and left, and and if his roommate was Adam, that was a bartender at the bar, how would he know if he never left? Because I mean, I know it was another roommate, but who knows what they were doing that night? They might have been doing their own thing and not even paid attention. Because I also know where Jack's room was in that house, and he could have left without anyone knowing. I never told people when I was going out, and maybe he just went to that bar for an hour.
Yeah.
And I think it also makes sense also why the girls were calling him later. It would because they had just seen each other. So it was
Right,
it would make sense.
it almost to me it makes it more innocent that they were calling him, because they're probably, why isn't he answering now? Because we just saw him.
Mhm.
And then if you know, let's just be logical. Sometimes with an ex, you're like, well, it's 1:30 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. He was at the bar. Why isn't he answering? Then you get that kind of jealousy thing, and and I know she broke up with him, and it was amicable. But I
Who broke up
personally,
with who?
what?
Who broke up with who?
Well, they had taken breaks in the past. It's my understanding that Haley had asked for the break.
Okay.
But because she was getting ready to go to Texas, she was getting but her family also believes that it would have been a temporary break. That it was something that she'd done in the past. Just needs kind of being like, I need time. But I think that just the way it's critical, but the way I go through my process of thinking with things is, we're 7-8 weeks into this case, and trust me, Jack DeCour has been looked at and investigated by police very, very thoroughly, and if he had something to do with this crime, I think that we would. I don't think that there would be all these red flags. I don't think there are red herrings as far as the other things that are going on. Yeah. I don't see it being someone this immediately close to the girls, because I feel like they would have been able to zero in. They have his DNA, I'm sure. They have,
unless Adam, they're building a case. Unless they're simply building a case. Yeah,
but
that would be
even at this point.
Yeah. Well, I keep listening, watching those shows, and the police officers keep saying it's not about their arrest; it's about building the case for it.
Yes.
So who knows? I personally have no idea where Jack D fits into anything of this, besides he's an ex-boyfriend that was obviously at that bar that night. Not a person of interest to me personally. Might be like I literally did not take on a person of interest with the Idaho. I was literally just paying attention.
I had one early on, but
to what was going on. But this is the shoes I think you're talking about, Adam.
Yeah, those are the other pair. And Nancy, Nancy, I agree. And I agree. No one can be ruled out. I agree with you 100%, Nancy.
Yeah. And so I'm not sure what Death Valley is saying here. Notice the black vertical lines in the video, or the photo he meant, and there are more at 45 on her back. I'm not sure what that means, actually.
In the video, there's
Is this the true crime cutie show tonight? Yes.
Always.
Yeah. But those aren't
chaotic beauty and crime things. She's the only one that can do beauty and crime.
Right. Now, so going back to that. So if anyone was to me associating those other shoes with it, I think that they're wrong on the shoes myself. Just because, just for the sake of talking about
those aren't those shoes.
These shoes are these shoes. These shoes are these shoes. This is the shoe from the bar, enhanced. And the reason why I enhanced this is to show you right here on these Nikes, you can see clearly where the shoelace is right here, just like it's right here, but it's a shoelace. So in here, it's down a little bit. So you can see that this right here is a shoelace coming in from the black. At no point whatsoever here. Let me see if I can show it better here. Anyways, regardless, this is the shoelace. Okay. So this is that black piece there. There is actually more black on the shoe here. And it's just what pulls through sometimes, right? You're dealing with a not so great picture, but enough to know that this is a shoelace coming out of black. And so hence why to me it could not be this pair, because there's no black besides in the logo that's here, and here, and a little bit here, but nothing to that's about it. And if you look at the eyelets, really, on the other shoe, it's probably hard for you guys to see. Yeah, it probably is.
Okay. I get what I get what Death Valley was saying now. If you pull the I don't mean, why don't you finish with the shoe thing first, then we can go back to that.
Oh, that's for the shoe, that part's enough for me. So regardless, to me, this is Jack DeCour that's sitting right there with the girls. Enough to know that from the hat, from the face, from the jawline, from the chin, from the shoes, that's enough for me to go, you know what? I'm pretty convinced that Jack D was there that night, and not that it means anything, just the fact that he was there that night. Well, these
Yeah,
shoes are
and you don't even have to enhance that
fun.
photo. I can. I mean, I'm literally zooming in on it on my phone right now.
Yeah.
Just and I can see the same thing that's in the picture Sunny's showing. You know,
Yeah.
so it's not enhanced. But if you do go back to the CCC or CCTV picture of the overview of that with all of them in it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The picture with all of them.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think that's this one here. Wait, no.
Yeah. So can you enhance the lighting on that one at all?
The lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that one.
Just to make it brighter.
Yeah, but the thing is that
Is that the one? Is that the one I sent you?
Okay, this is the one. Oh, I see. Okay.
Is that the picture I sent you?
No, you didn't send me these ones. No, these are from. Oh, it might be. Maybe it is.
Because it looks brighter on the one I have sent you, but you can see what she's talking about. There's vertical lines on the back of you can see them especially on Maddie's
pants. Oh, I
pants.
can see them. Yes,
but they're on everyone. The vertical lines go through the entire screen.
That right. Those vertical lines, because at first when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, what's with these vertical lines? Like, are they wearing the same darn things?
But they're not. But they go through every single person. They go through.
They're all here. It's just the quality of whatever is happening here. It's literally just the quality of it. I don't know.
When they're not aligned on the back, what do you mean by how they're not aligned on the back, Death Valley?
Well, I think it's because here they go up and down, and here they go this way, like slanted or something. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
I think it's because I think her hair is blocking part of it, or there's some, or you know,
yeah,
or whatever she's got under that.
But what would be what's the reason what difference would it make really? It's just from the camera.
Because they're in the wall, they're in everything.
Actually, let me tell you when something like this happens. It might not even be from the camera. This literally could be because somebody took the picture from their phone and reposted it. Because that always happens as well. Whenever I try to take a picture from my computer to my iPad, then it gets those kind of lines in it. So it could be that.
I personally think it's from the footage, just because I think it's moving, and so I think it's this image that as
might be, but it's not over here on this side of the.
On which side?
It's not on this side.
Yes, look at that wall. It's there. You can see it on that wall, on that white wall behind the black guy, behind the black jacket. You can see it up against that wall too.
Yeah.
If you zoom in on my phone, I can see it really clearly. It's across the faces. It's across the pictures.
But at the end of the day, though, Adam, I think we can agree. Like, so what?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's any there with it.
Yeah. The angle's different, but I think.
And the unalignment in her shirt, I think, is something. I think she has, because she's wearing a little like a cami under it, so it could just be the bra hook. It could be anything that caused that. That it could just be anything that caused the something to raise on the back of her jacket that would then misalign the
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm personally not going to read much into it. Is it because you're saying that it's photoshopped or something? Is that what it is, Death Valley?
But they are vertical across her back.
Mm-hmm.
The pictures I'm looking at, Death Valley, I'm seeing the lines are vertical the same way they are in everything.
Right. Can somebody go retake that image, please? Can actually just send us a full video.
But Death Valley, if you, I'm really interested in what you have to. If you want to email me or something, you can definitely.
The angle is.
Show me what you're talking about, because maybe I'm just not seeing it.
Well, yeah, he's totally seeing that these lines are going down, and then when it comes to over here, that these ones angle this way, so it's almost like. These lines go down, but on Kaylee, they go this way, like almost like
could be the way maybe she's standing.
Right. Right. So we're looking at the lines are going straight on the floor, but then she's standing at an odd angle. So the lines, even though they're going straight, because she's at an angle, it looks like they're angled.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I don't, and I don't know. I'm not an expert on photos, but I still don't see any significance to it, really. But if you do, please send me an email, because I would love to hear more about it. If you think at truecrimeaspen@gmail.com
Yeah.
or acrimingshame@gmail.com.
I mean, at the end of the day, Death Valley or whoever else is in chat here, I mean, at the end of the day, personally, I'm just letting the things unroll as they come. I'm not like I'm taking this picture for who's actually in it, and it kind of like okay,
You think
so
it's photoshopped?
yeah, and so let me just.
Okay.
He thinks it's maybe perhaps photoshopped.
So you think that that might are you thinking that someone might have made that look like Jack D to put him into the image? And I'm just curious. Because everything, everything we don't when photos like this are leaked, we don't know where they come from. So it's fair to look at anything like that. It's fair to raise suspicions on things like that. And we all know it's not beyond it's not beyond reason that someone, we've already seen people fake things in this case. We've seen someone fake a Night of the Scream. We've seen people, kind of go on and be frauds about, different things. So you could be onto something. And if you have more on it, I would love to know.
Don't even get me started on frauds.
But to me, that looks like it would be a very difficult Photoshop to put in because of the way that they've done it. It looks, they've got the shading, the lighting, everything is so perfect. But
I was gonna say there's certain things that I'll rack my brain over, and other things I won't. I refuse to rack my brain over on this one. Besides, okay, I'm just gonna quickly play. Actually, no, let's do something first.
Before that, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was curious when we saw that picture up. I was curious as to what everyone's thoughts are because I go back and forth. I'm going to know what everyone's thoughts are if they think that's Adam in the corner.
Okay, let me pull that picture back up.
Because I know Sunny and I have talked about it too, and Sunny we haven't looked into it a ton, but I go back and forth. I'll think it's him, and then I think
I believe it absolutely is him.
You do think it's him?
I believe it's Adam Lauda. Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And this is Jack and Adam.
Yeah.
Here.
And Adam is Jack's roommate.
Yeah. And so this, you can tell by the same smile. They have the same smile. Little bushies, but for me, if I was, I couldn't never say 100% on this one just because it's not a straight on look, but I'm going to believe myself that actually
it does look like him. The jaw, even the jaw. Look at the jaw.
Right. I kind of was looking at the eyebrows too.
I was looking at the eyebrows and the nose and the hair, but
just the spacing between it. I believe that this is Adam in the corner myself.
Right. So was he not working that night, or was he just hanging out, or?
Well,
because he's a bartender there, so that's why I was like, if he's.
So let me understand this.
Or is he working the door?
Wait, so is Adam the roommate also Adam the bartender? This is where I'm confused. Okay, so is that the case?
Yes, I believe so. Am I correct, everyone?
I thought there were two different Adams. I thought that there was Adam the roommate and Adam the bartender.
I believe that.
Yeah, let's let because I was always under the belief that there was two different Adams. One was the bartender, one was a roommate. But now I'm not sure.
Oh, Lisa.
Can anyone confirm that?
And just because of the where he's sitting, I was like, well, maybe if it is him, and maybe if that's the bartender, maybe he's working the door because he is sitting right there and by the door.
Oh, okay. So maybe I just
I think it's the same person. Which is why, and it's one of the reasons they hung out there.
I think it's just at the time that it was going around when I did hear about it with Adam, that it was almost deemed as two separate people. But it would make sense to me if this is, I don't know who that guy is there. But that guy, that other guy, the older guy there. So
the one everyone thinks, the one people are saying is Fry.
Well, let me put it this way.
I don't think it is.
That guy has some sort of camera on his head, on his hat. So, and the reason why I'll say that is because I took a picture. Okay, so this is kind of like a close up. So
those are sunglasses.
Definitely not sunglasses, Adam. It's
You don't think
definitely
they're
not.
like Ray-Ban? You don't think they're like Oakley?
No,
Were they?
no.
Okay.
No, it's only because, and I know you guys don't see it as well in here. This is definitely no sunglass here. This is literally some sort of black thing, and that's why. But this is where I thought perhaps maybe a camera was because of the little hole peeking through there on his hat.
Could it be a
Again,
logo? I
so
don't.
if you kind of look at this up close, there's no shape of a sunglass at all. But this is a black piece of something, whether
Could it
it's
be a
a
light? Could he be
maybe
security for the club? And it'd
could
be like
be, yeah,
a little headlamp.
Mhm.
could be, and that's the on and off switch black part, and this is the light, possibly. But this is definitely a little black element with a little knobby to it. You guys don't get it as when I see it in smaller version, then you can
Yeah.
really see that pull out. But it's definitely not glasses for sure.
I've taken that to be as him being. I've kind of taken him as security,
And
possibly.
we're,
And to me, that looks like it would be. If anything, could be
he
like a
could
headlamp
be,
or a camera.
he could be. Like
Or it could just be a weird hat design.
what? Yeah, I don't think it's a weird hat design because I just don't think that those things would pull out of it on a weird hat. Like it just for me personally, looking at it, I see it as like you said, Adam. Maybe it is like a security and it has a light to it, so it maybe blinds people if they get rough and puts a blind. You know how cops do that anyway.
Or
They
you know
put
how dark it is. Like the parking lot behind there is really dark as well.
yeah,
So if he's security and he were to walk around the parking lot in the back, that would come in handy. I don't personally think it's James Fry or the police guy.
no, I don't think it's him.
Someone even did a side by side, which I thought was funny, of this guy next to the Pawn Stars guy, and they were like, it could be him. But yeah, I heard it was the owner of the club. Is what I heard as well. Which I know Chris McDonough from the interview room has spoken to the owner of that club, and so I'll be interested to see his assessment of it when.
Well, let me tell you this. From what I see on Intellius, they're showing an Eric Henderson as the owner of the Corner Club. Now, I could not find a picture of him yet. I haven't overly looked extensively.
That looks like him.
So
I have a picture somewhere.
Oh, do you? Okay. So there is a gentleman that's named Eric Henderson that's the owner of the club. So I just kind of want to give people who aren't familiar. All you have to do is plunk the address in. Now, who is it that owns the red Jeep?
That's Ethan.
Tony?
Ethan.
You sure it's not Tony?
Oh.
Did Tony drive to Idaho?
Yeah, no. The best part about in that body cam footage that came out today from September, a PT Cruiser drives by, and I was like, oh no.
Oh no, not a PT Cruiser. Like obviously, but when you see that, you can't help but think of Delphi. Eh?
Yeah, right.
So this is just kind of like, this is a treat for you guys. There you go. There, that's not skank at all, right there. I'm sorry. What the heck is that? And look at this guy's
The guy
face.
is what creeps me out.
Yeah. That's just, yeah. Attention seeker.
I'm not going to judge her. I'm going to judge him.
Yeah, but his eyes are like, just. Anyways, I'm just giving you guys an inside look here at this looks like that guy right here. This guy right here, whoever this guy is, looks like this guy.
Right, which that might be the owner. I can't see that picture.
Yeah, that could be the owner right
this looks
here.
like JC's bar in Delphi.
And does it? Now, the reason why I say that is because when I look at this guy, okay, up close or whatever, okay, this guy has like a flatty face. What I call a little bit flatter, like a pug dog face in a sense. So when I look at that and I see this guy right here, this guy looks like that guy.
It's definitely to me not the police, it's not Fry. Because why would
No, why? No, I can't see that.
The chief of police is not going to be moonlighting at the Corner Club bar.
Yeah.
Plus, he would have out of conflict of interest came out and said that immediately that he had been in that club that night.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this guy has a small, like a flat face, and that's why this guy did too. And this guy totally looks like somebody else was showing a different picture, but to me, that guy would be this guy right here.
I have a picture of him somewhere, but and we know headlamps are common in that area because of how dark it is in so many of those areas. So, I mean, even people, we even heard the neighbors at the apartment complex next door to the house say they wore headlamps when they would walk their dogs sometimes. So, I mean, that wouldn't be surprising to me. I would say headlamp above camera, but that's just me personally. But security could wear either.
So I would just kind of deem this as a little dive bar, really.
I asked Jeremy. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I asked Jeremy point blank when I was on when I interviewed him and when I was on CD's channel. I asked him about the Corner Club, and I said, how would you describe it? I said, is it a dive bar? And he said it's 100% a dive bar.
I you know what? One year when I was in Lloydminster, Scott, the general manager at the time, took us. We went to this blues thing for New Year's. All right, walked into it, biggest piece of shit bar.
I love dive bars.
Piece of shit bar. So Scott did too. Honestly, you would never ever catch me going back to those again. Those are, to me, those are not a very comfortable feeling. Like you're literally sitting on those little chairs that fold out. Those little crappy chairs that fold out, those little black tinny things. And I felt so uncomfortable there.
Did you?
And then Scott literally almost got into a fight with the guy because Scott couldn't contain his little Mario self and started flirting with this chick that was with a guy. And I'm oh my God. Like and then that same night, we called a taxi cab.
They wouldn't come.
Okay, no, it came. And you know how they're supposed to ask for your name? Yeah. You know how they're supposed to ask for your name and stuff like that? Well, no. So taxis kept coming and going and all night. And then finally, when we called again, they're like, sorry, there's nothing available for whatever. We literally walked back to the hotel, and this cab company had given us their cards if we could hand them out to the guests. I literally walked in that front door of the hotel. I called up that cab company. I said, you are the biggest piece of shit cab company ever. Like, I was so pissed. I said, as for your cards, I will never, ever recommend your cab company in a small town to our guests ever. Do you understand me? 3 hours later, Adam. 3 hours later, and a walk home through the snow. Oh, yeah.
But those cab companies in small towns, they know no one has any other options, so they, the thing but no, I do like a dive bar. And Ray Jones says dive bars equal fever. Ray Jones, I've been to a great dive bar in Beaufort, near where your area of the state is. I can't remember the name, but I went to a great one there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this looks run down and dirty. It's dirty.
Well, that's what you go on a dive bar to be.
Yeah, no. Anyways, it's not my cup of tea. Alexa, how about you? Is it your cup of tea?
Actually, believe it or not, yes. I used to go in New York. We used to go to one that it was like literally, like it was filthy, but it was so good.
I like they're not pretentious. I like you don't get the club music as much. You get just kind of like,
no.
I mean, not every night. I don't go to bars very often, but I don't mind a nice dive bar. And coming from a small town in the Midwest, that's all they were. So.
I'm not a bar hopper drinker anyway.
And me neither.
For me, this is just the last place that you'll ever find me. I don't feel comfortable around, like, the people that were in it. It is one of those things that you just sit in your chair going, please don't attack me. Please don't.
Right.
Someone, it was just gross. It was just
the other thing that attracts, when you're in college, you don't usually have a lot of money. Dive bars have cheap drinks, and you're going to be more attracted to go hang out at a dive bar.
Yeah.
Because of those cheap drinks. Like, there was a place where I went to college, they had a night called Penny Pitchers, and you could literally, it cost $5 to get in. You would go in, and you paid 1 penny for a pitcher of God knows what beer it was. And 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 the place it smelled like vomit and it was trash, but everyone went there.
Gross. Well, the thing is that if you're in the area and living around it, it probably becomes like your Regal Beagle place to go.
New
You know,
KC's.
type of idea. So it's kind of, so I get it. It's just, I just think of my memory and I look at these pictures and I can't help but actually, the place I was at was actually worse looking than this. And I honestly just couldn't believe that Scott actually took us to this place for New Year's. It was just it was laughable.
Yeah, and this is a bar that has no windows, so it's like it is like when the door would open. I'm sure if it were daytime, you'd get that blast of light, like you're in Vegas or something, and you're all of a sudden like the sun came out.
I've
been in Jimmy's Corner, Alexa.
You've been in Jimmy's Corner? What's Jimmy's? Oh, is that in
Really?
New York?
Yeah.
No way. Really? Wow.
If it's the one I'm thinking of.
And where was the one that you went to? Oh, the one that near what?
It's not in Hell's Kitchen. Is it near Queens?
No, it's in New York City.
Okay, isn't it It's not Hell's Kitchen.
No.
East Village?
It's literally a block away from Times Square.
I know. I know that I've been to. Well, I have to think about it later. But
look at it. Yeah, maybe because it's quite famous.
I've been all over.
Mm-hmm.
Too.
Most of my favorite dive bars in New York are down in like the East Village or the Lower East Side. But
this one was owned by a former boxer. But a lot of the clientele that used to go there were cops, undercover cops. So it was, and all the people from the theater district.
Yeah, that's why I think I would.
Yeah, you know who used to go there a lot? The guy from Sex and the City.
Chris Noth.
Chris Noth.
Yeah, that's where I saw him. I have
drunk.
I have a picture of him with a jukebox, and he was wasted, and he was.
He
was playing music, and he was with Jason Patrick, the actor.
He was always there, and he was always. I used to love him. I used to love Mr. Big, like the character.
Yep, same. That ruined it for me a little bit.
Yeah, but when I met him, I just what a disappointment it was because it was nothing.
I'll send you my picture from inside Jimmy's bar that I have of him with the actor Jason Patrick.
Yeah, probably because that's where he used to go. A lot of them were there.
They did a show that yeah. Sorry to go on a tangent there.
Nope. Oh, the only other thing I quickly wanted to do was I'm just going to quickly play the audio for a second. Tell me if you can hear it, Adam and Alexa. I just wanted to play that. I'm not going to play the part that's missing. I'll put that out in a different video. I just want to play the part that's crisp and clear, and I'll do it here. Tell me if you can hear this.
No.
Can you hear that?
No.
Come on. Did you hear that?
I heard the people talking.
It was muffled. I'm going to mute myself and maybe.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, let me mute myself.
Well, Sonny, if you mute yourself, we can't hear it.
Oh, right. Okay. Hold on, let me just see if I can amplify it. 1 second. Let me just give it some amplify.
How can you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything. How can you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything. How can you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything.
Okay, so did you hear that though?
Yes, what I heard was, what did you say to Adam? And then he responded, I told Adam everything.
Right, and it actually says Jack.
Yeah.
What did you? Yeah, and I told Adam everything.
Yeah, I heard. What did you say to Adam? And then I heard. I told Adam everything.
Yeah, if you listen to the start right here, you'll hear it right at the very start. 1 second. See right there? See, let me go back 1 second.
What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything. What did you say to Adam?
It's right at the very start. All you hear is like, what did you say to Adam?
Jack. She's probably saying Jack's name. She was
Right,
saying,
that's what
Jack,
she
what
said.
did you say to Adam? And he
That's-
said, I told Adam everything.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, so I'm agreeing with you.
I just yeah, see. But
Which,
it's
you know,
that,
what are the
when it's-
but what does that mean?
well, there's definitely not Maddie in that particular piece of the clip. Maddie.
I think that was Maddie talking.
Oh, okay. So is that what you mean, Dave? That you heard Maddie talking? Yeah. Correct.
Oh, he might have said, Maddie, what did you say to Adam?
No, that's not what he said at all.
Let's listen to it again.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are hearing Maddie.
Yeah. No. Well, let's see. Go 1 second. Okay, it's gonna start in the middle, so hold on. Let me just 1 sec. Boom, 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 boom. I'll amplify. Bring it.
What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything. What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything. What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything.
Okay. You know,
I heard Maddie.
There's definitely not Maddie there. I'll tell you that. So unless you're taking these into programs yourself, you will not.
No, I'm listening. I'm just listening to what you played, and I heard Mad.
No.
You know, and then I heard, what did you say to Adam?
Yeah. Are you talking about who's talking, or who, or that you heard the name? Matt?
I'm heard at the very beginning. I heard Matt is what I heard, and then I heard, what did you say to Adam?
Right, and that's what I mean. That's why this is gets so confusing, because it says it's going like Jack. It's not saying Maddie at all there. It's not saying that, but yet that's what people hear. They hear what you think you're hearing, and just no different than if you look around on the internet right now, that everyone has these different things. Like, who was it? I think it was Miss Dogliver. I don't even remember what she said she thought she heard, to be honest.
Right.
That's just it. There was no part there at all where it said Maddie. There, like, nothing. But then again, so unless you're taking it into a program yourself.
Yeah.
And
will you send me the audio file, Sonny? You have isolated so I can listen to it?
Well, I will be posting. Yeah, I will be posting it out later. She says Maddie. Well, I'm sorry, Jimmy, but like I said, unless you take it into a program yourself and do it yourself, you'll probably find that Maddie's not being said there. But again, you'd have to do that yourself. I'll release the video later.
So Sonny, who do you think the second voice is?
Well, no, the second voice. Okay, so the person that says, Jack, whatever, what did you say to Maddie? What did you say to Adam? That's which girl? Is that Maddie or Kaylee saying that?
Well, if she's saying Maddie, then I'm assuming it's Kaylee.
She's not saying Maddie.
But I'm saying, so who do you think the second voice was that answers? Because that sounded like a female voice to me.
Yeah, it does.
There's two female voices.
I felt like the person that answered that question was a female.
Correct. Oh,
so why would a female answer if she said Jack?
Hold on a second. Jack, hold on. Let me actually play that. You're right. Let me play that. Let me play that again.
No. What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything.
Okay, no, that's Jack answering back. That's that's a male and a female answering there.
I felt like that was two females.
Two girls. It sounds like two females.
I feel like that was two females.
I don't believe so at all. So let me play it one more time. Because I hear Jack, what did you say to Adam? And then he said, I told Adam everything. And that would be right. Like, that would seem, I think, with what I thought we heard anyway. Right, hold on.
What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything. What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything.
Yeah. See, however you guys want to deem that yourself. Because when I hear the second voice, I can understand why it comes off female and maybe. But you know what? I would have to actually go back. Let's go back to
I
one
think it's two
second.
females, and it actually makes me think of something.
Yeah,
You know, like
I
that
agree.
I need. You know, I need to think more
Well,
because
I'm thinking, hold on. Let me just let me just go back to this video here and let's see what it plays like.
can we see the video footage because I want to see their interactions as they're
Adam,
saying
stop. Stop. Get out of my brain. That's exactly what I was doing.
it.
Okay. So let's just see here. This is on News Nation. At some point, this clip is going to get a copyright strike. News Nation sucks
We'll
for
just
that.
talk through it. Just pause it as we go, and we'll talk through it.
Wait, where am I? Where am I at here? Okay, I need to go to here. So let's see.
I really do think it's Maddie answering Sunny.
Okay, hold on.
That
And
sounds
see
like
the way they motioned, the two girls motioned to each other.
the girls. Yeah.
Hold on. See, I
And
know,
she
but it's
motioned
like,
to the
but they're
girl.
both looking in.
Maddie
Let's just
motions to the girl, to
yeah, but
Kaylee.
okay. Let's watch it again. Watch it again, and you guys decide. Like at the end of the day, you guys like it is what it is. Okay, let's see. Does Kaylee have a manly voice?
No, not at all. But but Kaylee's in the front there, and then when Maddie answers, she motions to Kaylee to like get her attention to be like, I told Adam everything.
And she
Yeah, but
even leans towards her a little bit.
Yeah, that's
well,
when
hold
she puts her arm towards her even, and Jack's way ahead of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's not talking. You can look, he's even looking over, not talking.
Mm-hmm.
let's
Yeah.
see.
I
Come
think
back
it's
to
the
chat.
girls.
What do you guys see? Reading
Because I was trying to look at Jack's face during it too, and I didn't see Jack's face. He wasn't talking.
2 lines, please, for the love of God. For the love of God, on my head. You know, I love it when people have so much to say, but yet they don't do any work themselves. You know, in a sense. I'm not talking about you two here. I'm just talking about in chat. Like I said, go do the work you guys self, and then you can find out for sure. You know, because I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna take it into a program, and I'm gonna try to like bring it brighter. You know, so that like bring it in closer, and maybe hopefully brighter.
And it
And
could be anything.
you know, it doesn't matter.
It
But
doesn't,
yes,
you know, exactly what.
that was the point actually. Is okay. So my thing is this: is that regardless of who said it, honestly, it doesn't matter because that the question that I wanted to ask you guys was this: was she sounded upset? So if
Mm-hmm.
Jack D, was at the thing from 8:30, like you know, at the bar with them, and then Maddie says it. Maddie's the one that says it, right? The one with the long jacket on, which is Maddie. She's the one that says,
Yes.
Jack, and let's just say whatever she said. What did you say to Adam? And then the answer back was, I told Adam everything.
See, and I think that
So,
was Kaylee that said it, but you know, again, doesn't matter.
like, okay, so you think Kaylee was the one that said the first thing?
Yes.
Wasn't it? Hold on. Is the one in the blue jacket, is that not Maddie?
The
Am I
one in the
wrong?
long jacket is the one in the back was Maddie. The one in the front was Kaylee, and I think it was
Right.
Kaylee saying,
Okay,
"What did you say to
okay,
Adam?" And I think Maddie answered, "I told Adam everything."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on.
Turner, you got an F on your. Oh, okay.
I always thought it was the one in the back speaking there. Maddie person. No? Whoops. I always thought it was the one in the back that was speaking there. I was like that.
I think the one in the back is the one that answered. and that's why she motions her arm towards Kaylee at the very, very end of the video. She reaches out to be like, "No, I told him Adam everything," and then kind of motions her arm towards her.
Yeah. Again, each to their own, Nancy, to be honest with you, because again, even the words that are said and
Right.
stuff like that. But my question was, regardless, was that besides, who said, she said, this said, was that person sounded upset.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like,
Or drunk.
well, yeah, but it was just the way it was said, and we could be wrong, but it just sounded like, it literally just kind of sounded like, like, I told Adam everything,
Mm-hmm.
right. And so I'm just thinking to myself, okay, well, this is my only thought was, okay, if Jack was at the bar and that's an ex of Kaylee's, and Adam is whatever, and
His
it's
roommate.
like, yeah, his roommate, and it's like, I told Adam everything, and it was just the way it was said that it almost comes across like I told Adam everything, and you're like,
Meaning
well,
what? Yeah.
what was everything?
Mm-hmm.
What was
Right.
everything? Yeah.
And they're kind of elevated. I don't think necessarily so much as upset as just being kind of elevated when you've had when you've had stuff to drink. Everything you say is kind of louder and a little bit more intense. And I feel like that continued in their behavior at the food truck. It wasn't necessarily aggressive. It was just more kind of like amplified and animated because of their probably that they've been drinking.
Drinking, yeah.
Yeah, like at the grub truck.
So it could have been nothing, it could have just been something non-consequential that but when you've been drinking, everything is like, oh, what, you're louder, there's all sorts of things that go into play with that. And, and then Jack S in that whole situation to me is never, immediately interacting with him, which is so interesting. Yet they're walking with him, they're with him there, and they're with him at the grub truck, but yet they never have that full interaction. It's all the interaction's always between the two girls.
Yeah. When she says to that guy, like, fuck you, whatever.
Well, yeah.
She says that to Jack or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, some people think that doesn't really happen. So it's, people have argued over whether that's what she's doing.
Well, I thought that on one of the news stations that they literally played the clip and she literally was like, a few.
It's, people, it's left up to interpretation still, just the way she's motioning. Because some of the way, just like some people have also said she was taking that, Kaylee was taking a selfie of, to get Jack in the background of it. But then people have said that wasn't true. And clearly we know that, if they have the data off the phones, they'll know what was in those.
Yeah.
But it's not worth. And no, Nancy, we're not arguing. I mean, I think it's always important to speculate because everyone does hear different things, and none of us know who's right. None of us know who's wrong. And
no, yeah, we don't care. Like at the end of the day, honestly, I could care less about all the drama and rumors that are out there with this.
Yeah.
I'm just
changing opinions.
Yeah, and I'm honestly just following the case myself, doing my own work, like whatever. Right. Like, meaning I'm not going to take somebody's word for it myself that this is what they were saying. And again, the intent really is, like when it comes to things, like I do things mostly for myself, and then the things that I want to share, I share. But I do it for my own purpose of, okay, like okay, let me go back to that thing and what was the conversation prior to that. Now, what I heard was, well, actually, I'm not even going to say now. I'll put it out in a video just because I want to play with it a little bit more. But it's just that it's very low. And that's where I hear the name Maddie in that particular part of the video. But it's kind of like, of course, back in the distance, they're far off and it's like that very low. So you have to tweak it. And when you tweak it, you still get the more you tweak it, the more you're going to get this background, like,
and none of it could mean anything. And like, I understand, like, we don't, Sonny and I don't argue. We'll each give our opinions or discussions, but like we don't argue because I'm like, I respect the work she does and she respects my opinion. So
yeah, Nancy said she'd been to other sites and this is it. Nancy, I don't take your word for it either.
I always think if everyone had the same,
Homework.
if everyone heard the same thing and everyone had the same opinion, how
Yeah.
interesting would anything in life be, right?
We'd probably have this case solved by now. But I'm not even trying to solve the case, and or anything like that. Honestly, I'm just waiting for. I feel like that there's going to be a resolution to this case. I definitely feel that. Um, she gives the finger to Joe Vidiot, who's standing next to Jack. Oh, the hoodie guy, Joe Vidiot. Vidiot, but or Vidot or whatever you say. But anyway, I feel like there will be resolution to this case. I do feel like it's coming. Um, and so it's just one of those things. Like, you know, it's a big case out there. Again, for the fact that we're paying attention to it. Am I deep diving into it? No. Am I paying attention to it and just kind of looking at things? Like if I'm going to see a picture and somebody's going to ask if they think that that's Jack, well, I'm going to do what I usually do, which is play around with pictures and see if I can figure it out. Now, to me, everything there tells me that that's Jack D. Do I think he's involved? I don't know. I could care less. Like that will get figured out by the LE at some point. But is it him that's there? And then I said to Adam, like, what's the significance if it is him there? Because I just remember something about messages to him that didn't get answered or that were sent from the phones or phones, and that was about it. But again, it might mean a lot more to somebody else if they deem Jack D as a POI to them or something.
Right. Because people will find answers and things they're looking for.
I just feel like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you want Jack D to be your suspect, you're going to find reasons to then find everything about this suspicious.
Yeah.
But, if you look at it from the standpoint of it could just be an innocent college night out where, think of how many non-consequential conversations you've had on a night out with people. Taken out of context could mean a million things. I have a lot of, when I was in my 20s, I had mainly female friends. I can't tell you how many 5-minute long, intense conversations happened and then meant nothing and then went nowhere, like, why did you talk to that person? Why did you do this? And then it's over. And none of it meant anything.
Yeah. Why can't I find the part that I'm looking for?
And so I actually appreciate that we're like talking about it and discussing, and even if we hear different things, makes it more interesting to me because
it's
I think that if everyone heard the same thing, I think crimes would actually never get solved.
Yeah, because me and Adam really haven't talked much about the case together.
No,
until we come on the live. Why am I missing? Am I?
No, I mean we talked earlier today just briefly about but we both agreed that that him being there, unless he's involved, really does have no significance. Or might not have any significance.
Yeah, I still feel that if it was Jack D, that he probably would have been arrested by now.
Yeah, because I always look at Scott Peterson and how that family stood by him. But even that 7 weeks into this did not go on, because you have to realize they are getting, Alexi, you might know this better than I, but they are at a point where even they are getting forensic information back. They are starting to get DNA information back. They are starting to get answers from the crime lab, on this case, and I feel like that's going to be where some of the most important pieces of these lie.
Yeah.
It's been long enough now that they should be getting those results back.
I just feel that whoever did this, I feel like I don't know why, but I just always feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, of course, but I just feel like that it was somebody that was somewhere around them, whether it was at the bar or whether it was the grubby. I don't know. I just keep feeling like it's more of somebody that was there. I don't know.
You think that night, or do you think it was someone that just? Because I go back and forth with whether I think it was.
I think it was that night to me. If someone was to pinpoint me, and I had to give an answer, I would say I think it was somebody that was around them that night.
Okay.
That's yeah. I mean,
Um,
if I had to pick between a stranger looking through that knew that they were going to be there, which is very possible, of course.
I mean,
What
I
do
think it
you?
was someone in the circle,
Yeah. Do you
but I
guys
don't know if
think?
it was someone that was there that night.
Yeah. Do you guys
And
think it was somebody from that night in chat? Like you
Well,
go ahead, Adam.
what do you mean that they
Um,
met that night, or they were with him that night?
Not that they were with him,
the,
but
to me, the longer this goes on, the more it implicates that it's someone that could have been in their circle, but it was someone that is not as close to them as the people we've
correct.
been looking.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the first one to to be like, oh, I think Jackass is way suspicious because, I mean, it was November, like whatever, that I got sent those hunting pictures that I was like, this is weird. And so I mean, I've been suspicious of that guy from the get go, but police have come out now on multiple occasions and
Jackass
said
or Jack D?
Jackass.
Jackass. Okay.
I mean, because when I see those knives that he collects, and I see the behavior of him in those videos, and I see the behavior of him and everything, he was my number one thing. But I don't know. I think the longer this goes on, I think that that it's someone that was very much more familiar with them than they were with him. I still maintain that I still think it could have been someone maybe at the Halloween party they hosted. And my opinion changes, every once in a while, but I was 100% pretty much thinking Kaylee was the target. And like, if you asked me today, my gut is starting to go more and more towards something that we don't know being the catalyst of this, and it being Maddie and not Kaylee, or all of them, meaning the females.
Yeah, there's part of me, I'm not sure if it's Maddie or Kaylee, to be honest with you.
Maddie to me is the one that I don't know. I my gut is starting to tell me it's more towards Maddie, or it's towards the females.
Mm-hmm. I know. I mean, it's one of those things, kind of probably like Delphi, where you just kind of think, like, oh, they should have had someone arrested a couple days after, you would have thought. Like, do you know what I mean? Right. Because 4 people, DNA, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Which they should be trying to get back now. Yeah. Alexa, I had a question for Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
So I really respect John Kelly and his work and the things that he says and does. And I heard him talking today on a stream, mm-hmm. and he was talking about how he to him, he was talking about the physicality of, having to probably keep your hand over someone's mouth as you're stabbing them. He's been surprised we haven't heard about slicing in this case, and things like the throats being slit in this case, and how pure stabbing being the motive, or the way that the method of killing is much more of a sexually motivated thing, because I can't remember the word that's used when that you can almost use stabbing to substitute sexual SA.
Mm-hmm.
And that that to him points in this being, unless there's stuff we don't know, that this points in more of being a sexually driven attack rather than revenge. And I know we talked about you thinking it being more of a revenge thing, so I just was curious about your thoughts on that.
I mean, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard what he said, to be honest with you, so I don't know.
Right.
I mean, in my opinion, and of course you're gonna have 10 different people having 10 different opinions, even profilers or behavioral analysts, whatever, I don't know. And I personally, I see where he's going. I mean, always you have to understand, first of all, this is not what we call mass murders, because there's more than 3 people being killed at the same time. Usually when you have mass murders, usually they use guns. But this one, they decided to use a knife, which a knife is more personal.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a sexual, but to me, I think it could fall into the sex. But to me, it just seems more like a revenge. Like this person was probably obsessed, or he was turned down or something, and he decided to go ahead and kill them and kill this person and then the other three along them. And that's why. But I mean, I don't see it as sexual. I mean, it could be, but I personally think that this was more this. Maybe the fantasy could be sexual,
Right.
that he was like in love or he was having dreams with one of them or whatever. But I think that the killing itself here, it's more like revenge.
Because
More.
even I mean, because I mean, all serial killers can just become can just become obsessed, even if they don't know the person, right? You know, so I mean, does that
Oh
still
yeah.
make it revenge,
Oh, of
or is
course.
it?
Yeah, I mean,
I was just looking at like the similarities between like say the Gainesville or like Ted Bundy, and you know, and I'm like, you know, there I feel like there's so many similarities in the method of this that I'm like, then what would make this revenge and those type of thing, you know, what would rule out something in this case being something more like a Gainesville or a Ted Bundy, who had just fixated on this on you know these girls for whatever reason and fulfilled some act that he did.
I think something with this kind of killers, there has to be something that drove them over the edge. There was something.
Right.
Either he
Yeah.
saw him, you know, you know, the woman of his that he was fixated in. That's and maybe he saw her with somebody else, or I don't know, he ran into her and turned him down. Something. There has to be that pinpoint that you're going to go, here's exactly where this person decided to go ahead and kill them.
Well, what was the pinpoint in like the Ted? You know, I mean, I don't know. What was like the pinpoint in like the Ted Bundy or Gainesville that made those killers?
I mean,
act out on that to them.
I mean, Ted Bundy it's one of the ones that he always stands out because I mean, even though he killed many people at the same time, he was also a serial killer, and usually the two don't go together. So he is like almost in one of the categories of his own. But I mean, he did it for his own personal. He was, you know, he went ahead. He was a type of, even see, with serial killers, you usually have a cooling down period. He didn't have. Sometimes he didn't go. He started killing and went on almost in killing sprees.
Right.
So, and he would kill one person, or he would kill 4 people. And usually,
Right.
you know, you have the differences and the killers. So I personally think that with this one from Idaho, I think there was something that drove him over the edge to kill. To kill. I think he had. I honestly, I still think I'm going to go and look at what he said, and it could be that maybe he had a sexual fantasy with her. But I think the killings themselves are more revenge.
Right, and he did say that he you know he's not talking to law enforcement in this case. So I mean he his group, they're going off the same information that a lot of us are, you know, and we might not know all of the details, but he did say he did say that because he when he answered that, he said that it was twofold, because he thinks if it was this, it could allude to the sexual thing, and if it was the other thing, it could allude to something else. But he said that he was saying that he believes if it was sexually motivated, he does not believe that this was probably the person's first murder. But that if it was revenge or something like that, it could have been, but it could have been also extremely difficult to our knowledge get away with leaving. Well, we don't know what you left, but
also the knife, when they choose a knife, and especially a big knife, a lot of people in psychology, they see the knife as almost like a extension of the killers, of themselves.
Yes.
So it would be basically of his member, basically, you know what I mean. So could be, but I personally, I always believe that, I mean, And it's hard to make assumptions because you don't know any. I mean, we don't know much about this case.
Right.
We
And that's
only
where
know,
that he said that well. He said like we knew 5%, right? He's
yeah.
like we have 5% of the information.
Hmm. But I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't see it as sexual. I do believe that this is revenge motivated by revenge. By
Right.
he was probably obsessed or something happened that he was turned down or something, and you were going to see that there was a point, that something where you can go back and pinpoint where he said that something drove him over the edge, and he
Right.
decided to go ahead and to do this. I
I
think
and I
in
I
his head
understand.
he planned this. He planned this. This was very well planned.
Right.
I don't see this is not a disorganized. This is not something that he said, "Hey, I'm gonna go kill it." I think he planned it.
Right. And I guess I guess that I agree with that. I think my confusion for me always lies is in my mind. I always wonder. I'm like, I just think of like, can it be both? I'm like, to me, I'm like, can someone have like? I mean, clearly you don't kill 4 people with because you have a healthy brain that just works normally. But so I'm like, can you have your personal fantasy towards something, and then you also then are triggered by something, and you find that then the trigger is the reason that you act out or are finally able to act out on your fantasy that's yours, not about them.
It could be that maybe it is sexual fantasy, that it was a sexual fantasy, but something maybe somebody didn't accept the advance, and then he got upset and he killed them.
Right.
So it could be that it's sexual, but I don't see the sexual motivation as the first factor.
Okay.
It could be in there, but I personally don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'm just asking because I don't have the background that you nor him have, so I'm curious as to because in my mind I'm like, can't all those things play into the same? Can't they both be
I mean, they could go hand in hand, but usually you have to have one stronger than the other. There has to be one motive, than the other. So I think in this case, in my personal opinion, but it could be, that it was also part of the fantasy. I think this person, I always believe, when I heard about this case, the first thing I ruled out was, I said maybe a stalker, but I ruled it out because I was like, no way, a stalker is not going to be a mass murderer. Go into a house and kill 4 people. But the minute I found out that he didn't go into 4 rooms, he only went into 2 rooms, then everything changed for me. And I said, wait a second. So then it could be like a stalker, like somebody who had an obsession with somebody, and there was something that drove him. And this type of killers, the mass murders, are very similar to like the like the gun, like the ones that go into the school shootings. That they're people that are rejected, they're outcasts, and that's why I tell you, for me, this person is probably will stand out from the rest of the population, because this person is going to be probably most likely not have a lot of friends. He's going to be lonely. He probably is not going to have a job, or he's going to have many jobs. I don't think he has a lot of friends. I don't think he has stable relationships. So I think when everything comes, and you'll see, we'll see, that you're going to see that he is not, he's not going to blend in. He wasn't like RA.
Right.
I always believed that RA was the type of killer that he would blend in with the rest of the society. He was married, he would have a kid, he had a job. But this one, So I think they're very.
I'm just so curious by the psychology of it, so that's why I asked. But and the other thing to me is because then there's so many aspects that we don't know that maybe if the 2 girls on the 3rd floor were the target, or one of them were the target, and maybe if Ethan or Xana had woken up, maybe he didn't plan on killing them, but if then confronted on his exit by their presence, he did what he had to do, and then they were collateral damage, and then he left. That changes the whole dynamic again, right?
I mean,
or if he meant to kill all four intentionally, then that's a whole different situation.
I don't think he knew Ethan. I think I think he meant, I personally think that he went there to kill the person, I guess, of his obsession. Let's call it, Steph, I'll call it the obsession. The person of the target, the main victim, the target. But he was, the thing that I am, that it's interesting is that he didn't hesitate to kill somebody else. And that's very interesting because usually, killers have a plan, and when something goes out of, some killers are, when something goes not their way, they, for example, they bring somebody else, or they see that they have somebody else, it throws them because they are very OCD. In their heads, they have planned that A, B, C, D. But if you put F, G, it throws them off. So the fact that he was able to kill one person or three people, that's very interesting. That is really, really interesting. But it would be also interesting to know, what brought him there. What was that thing that drove him to the edge?
What made him walk into that door that night with the weapon that he had?
And I'm sure it has to be something. And I'm sure we will find out that there was something that happened that made him do this.
Right. Yeah.
So that's...
There's just so many factors in it we don't know. I'm so fascinated by the psychology of someone of the whole situation. But
it is. But usually, with this type of killers, it's usually rejection.
Yeah. Something I was not aware of today, but that I heard today was that, that it was again John Kelly was talking about in all of the cases that he has talked about and worked. Every time they've dealt with a serial killer, they have every single serial killer he has worked on case with has exhibited signs of OCD, which I found interesting. It's not a statistic I heard before.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them have OCD. I mean, again, it goes into that precision, that that obsession that they have to do, and they have to plan, and they're very organized. So depending on the type of killers, whether they're organized, disorganized, mass murderers, serial killers.
Someone when he went into the numerology of it today, and something I was watching, and they were talking about, and we were talking about coincidences last night on the show, and the numbers and things like that. And something I hadn't thought about was the address of this house, which, and I'm speculating on everything I'm saying because we don't know. So was the house number is 1122, and this murder took place in November of 2022, so 1122, and then you have and then it was 1122. There's two surviving victims on the first floor, one in one room, so 1 and 1, 2 on the second floor, and 2 on the third floor, so 1122. And so people are finding all of these connections between the numbers, even just of the house and the date and the time. And there's the whole 13th thing. And I'm like, it's so easy to go down all of those.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I can see it, but I think that is a little bit stretching. I don't think.
Right.
I mean, I do believe that the killer gets to pick the date and say, hey, this date, I'm going to go on this date.
Right.
I mean,
we talked about the coincidences last night with the dates and everything. So I found that interesting that I heard that today because I hadn't thought about the address, the month, and all of those things.
I mean, could be. I mean, if he's one of those OCD, like really, but I don't see that. I mean, I don't see the address playing.
No, I agree. I just thought it was interesting.
No, I get it. And when you go, even myself, when you go see that, you start going, wait a second, really? It really brings you down into those rabbit holes, and you go, wow. And it makes sense too, if you go. But no, I don't think so. I think that they a lot of them also, don't forget that they're copycats. They see. I mean, this person probably was obsessed. He probably reads manifestos from other killers. I mean, I would say. I mean. No, I don't want to speculate that much because I don't want to go down that path. But I do think a lot of them do a lot of research, and they, you know, and also it's almost like their idols are killers. So a lot of them try to imitate what others have done before them.
Right. Or escalate it.
Or escalate it. Yeah, because I mean, to kill
Just
4
be
people.
narcissistic. And they're like, oh, I could do this better.
Yeah. And
I'll
a
take
lot
it a
of
step further.
yeah. But you know, I don't think this person, whoever did this, I don't think he did it for that usually, like, of the shooters that they do it, they to get attention, to be like, oh, it's me, I did this kind of thing. I think this one did it for personal
Right.
gain, thinking that he would do, you know, if they kill the person, his target, you know, he would be doing good because he's going to get rid of this person that is evil into this world. It's, I mean, I always been fascinated, and I wish I would have taken more psychology back in the day, how their brains really work. And it's fascinating to read, you know, to read how, even now that they have proved that their brains are slightly different than ours.
Right.
So there's actually, you know, proof that they're
What is
not.
that? Yeah. What
Diamond
part of the
eyes.
brain is that? We've talked about it. I can't remember the name.
The amygdala.
Amygdala. Okay.
The amygdala. That's the part of the brain that does. And yeah, Diamond, I say like a personal vendetta. Yeah, I do believe that. I believe that this is a personal thing. Whether they knew each other, I don't know. Maybe in passing, or he saw her, or she saw him. Definitely, this guy is a male. I would say he's a male. I don't. Well, I do see him being a male. I mean, and it's also fantasies. Could be that, you know, that this guy said hello to her and he fell in love with her.
Right.
Or
she may not have known him, but he may have known her really well.
Yeah. But I do believe, you know, because if you're going to think about it, if this is a mass killing, and if you're going to go into a house and do a mass killing, the easiest thing would be a gun. And a lot of people even say, oh, this is drug related, whatever. If it would have been drug related, they would have used a gun. Quicker, silencer.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I was done.
To me, the only thing, and I always try to use, like, I always try to, like, you know, question everything I think of. Except if I have thought, I'm like, I try to disprove myself then. And the only thing that keeps me from thinking, like, okay, so if someone became obsessed with one of these victims,
mm-hmm.
And they decided to act out on, you know, and enact a revenge or a fantasy, regardless, wouldn't the most natural way to do that then to be to find a time when the person that you wanted to enact that revenge on or fulfill that fantasy on was isolated? Like, so I mean, to me, I feel like there was a very deliberate reason to go into that house, knowing that there were multiple people there. Why wouldn't you kill one of them when they were on their own?
Well, did he know? I mean, this is something that I don't know with the house and everything. I mean, did he know that? I mean, I don't think he knew they were sleeping together. Like the two girls were sleeping in the same bed. I think he thought that everybody was in their own room and he was going to go and kill them. And then it was almost like surprise, you know, the two girls.
But then he killed all four. So it's like, you know,
but think about it. Okay, so he goes, he kills, but that's easy. He goes, he kills I don't know, one of the, let's say the two girls are the targets. Let's say that. Let's entertain that idea. Right. The two girls are the target. He goes in.
Sonny, we didn't forget. Sorry.
He doesn't find one in there. He goes, he kills. He goes, walks into the room. It's empty. He goes to the other room. The two girls are there. Kills one, then the other one is there, kills them. I guess the noise, probably one screamed when she woke up and saw that the friend was was killed. I am thinking always that noise was probably what woke Ethan and Sana, or maybe alerted. I don't know if woke up is the word, maybe alerted Ethan and Sana, and maybe Ethan, went out and see what was going on and he got killed. And by default, Sana got killed. I don't think they were a target. I never believed that Sana and Ethan were a target. I think they were just collateral damage, that they were just in his way.
Okay, and so that's kind of what I was saying earlier with, so if that is the instance, then, I feel like that could mean one motive. But if killing all 4 of them was the intention, that to me changes the whole thing.
Well,
And we
I
just don't know
know
that aspect of it yet.
because I don't think Ethan was supposed to stay over. I don't think Ethan, they knew that Ethan was going to be there. So I think it was
Right.
kind of like last minute thing that he stayed over. Also, he didn't kill the dog. So, I guess the dog didn't represent a target to him, that he
Right.
left the dog alive. Because that's very interesting that, I think somebody told me that the dog was a puppy.
Right. I think it's like 11 months, something like that.
Okay. So
Oh,
I guess because a lot of the killers killed the dogs
Yeah.
just to make a statement, just to, get out of the way, whatever. They killed the dogs. So this one tells you that the dog didn't represent I think he killed whoever was a threat to him. I think that's how this person operated.
Alexa, remind me, was there someone else on the stream with us tonight?
I know she's gonna fight. Are you eating?
Wait.
Maybe she's having her dinner.
Wait, I think. Wait, is there another person in this channel?
You know what? It just so happened. I'll just tell you. It just so happened that a friend a friend that I worked with at the hotel, back in Whitecourt. She started messaging me, asking me if she can use me for a reference, and I'm just like, yeah, sure. Okay. And I just want to say,
I'm sorry, Sunny. I didn't mean to just.
So I was just messaging back and forth with her. One day I'm going to read this thing that's there though in front on the thing. But yeah, so this is the one. This is the friend that picked up my husband from the airport on weed day. I'll tell you, that's a story in itself. You can't even help but laugh. It's like a Cheech and Chong movie all over again. So anyways, so she keeps saying to me, okay, I'm just going to read this. Okay, son, if you're listening to this, it says, what did she say there? You're such a shining light. Okay. You're so fun. And I smiled looking back at any time we got to spend at work. Basically. And then she says, you're so full of life, Sunny. I love you. Or, it was fun working with you. Absolutely. I'm a fun person, people. Contrary to what some people think. I'm a fun person. And I'm a shining light, apparently.
You are.
Anyways. So I'm just
You're like sunshine.
I tell myself that sunshine.
No, but I apologize.
Anyway.
I apologize for just dominating that. I was curious about the psychology part of it.
Yeah, it's just coming on 2 hours. I just want to finish reading this thing myself. This thing that's on here, if you don't mind. And then if you guys still want to chill and talk about it.
It's okay.
But yeah. But let me just quickly read this because I remember someone talking about it today. Oops, where
Can you make it bigger?
I gotta find it again. Oops, I'm in the wrong thing. Well, actually, if I make it bigger, it's probably gonna be too. Like it's already in.
Blurry.
Is that blurry? I mean, I can't do.
No, you can kind of see it.
That's better. It actually came in. The closer it got, for some reason, the better it started looking. So it just says the Moscow Police Department is providing the following information to update the public on the known facts surrounding the 4 murders that occurred on November 13th. At this time, the investigation detectives do not believe the female associate professor and chair of the history department at the University of Idaho suing a TikTok user for defamation is involved in this crime. The Moscow Police Department will not provide a statement about the ongoing civil process. There have been numerous inquiries for members of the public and media to verify digital media published online. Any picture or video provided through the official public records request process is authentic. However, once a record is released, we can no longer verify its authenticity, as we do not know if it's been altered. Detectives are aware of videos distributed by local businesses. What is it? What else we got? Anything? Investigators believe someone has information that adds context to what occurred on the night of the murders and continue requesting additional pictures, video, and social media content. Our focus remains on the investigation, not on an individual's activities displayed in the tip. Whether you believe it is significant or not, your information might be one of the puzzle pieces to the murder. Yeah, I mean that's always a thing, right? Is that some people might never know that they had something,
Mhm.
or took a picture, or were just driving and happened to see this Hyundai
Something.
Elantra or
Right.
whatever.
That's funny.
Progress.
I just
Go
heard
ahead.
the exact same thing earlier today when I was doing some more research on the Madeline McCann case, and they said the exact. I watched a clip of them asking for the exact same thing, all video footage or camera footage that you don't think would be significant.
Yeah.
So I mean that's so common in cases like this.
Yeah, remember the Gabby Petito when with
Yeah.
And then
the people that found the video of them
yeah,
of the van.
of the van, yeah, absolutely. And they did the same thing in the in the Kylie case. And they were asking for photos and things like that. We don't know what they got, but
Mhm.
so yeah, I'm glad they are asking for this though.
Well, it looks like they're still looking for the Honda
The
Elantra.
white Honda.
Yeah, because it's just saying there. I can see that progress continues to locate the white Honda, believed to be in the immediate area of King Road. So, like I said, so maybe somebody had a dash cam. Maybe doesn't even think about it. You know, maybe they came
But
across.
I
don't know.
feel like you. I think this case will be solved. I think relatively soon they will have. I mean, hopefully, we won't be sitting here like 4 years from now and be like,
No,
no. But
unless
I believe that this case it's about to crack. We'll
yeah.
see.
I mean, I agree that I think with everyone home for winter break, but I would say in the
Yeah,
next
I
couple of
know.
months,
Yeah.
if 4 years from now we're still talking about it, I think that that's going to allude to much more
No,
like the case of
no,
something like a serial killer or something that we don't know about.
no, no. I am sure this is not the
But
case. You'll
yeah, I
see.
don't think so either.
No, 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 no,
And Dave, I don't like some. I know a lot of people are saying they think it's gone cold. I mean,
no,
I
no,
don't think
no, no,
70 days into a case, I don't think we can say it's cold yet. I mean, I think there's
no.
some forensics. They're just
Tips,
getting back.
no. This is just started. I mean, this is just starting. I mean, probably the profilers, the detectives and everything are just about getting information back and starting to draw and make their plans and thinking, is this getting the leads and everything. No.
Old? No,
This
no,
But I mean,
no.
I get why people say that, but I mean,
Oh,
I think it's because we do want it to be solved so badly.
Yeah,
But
of
I don't
course.
think it's gone
Of
cold.
course. Of
But I
course.
don't. But I don't. I'm
yeah,
not criticizing people that are afraid of that or thinking that, because I get
Yeah.
why people think it, but I think it's much too early to say that.
Dave said, I think it's gone cold. No way. No way. No. As long
no,
as
absolutely not.
the
Yeah,
tips are coming in. No. And I told you, forensics is about to, I guess in January, I think probably the second week in January, they're probably going to start getting back. Probably. I mean, I'm sure
I've heard they've already started getting back.
oh, I'm sure they already gotten some stuff back. But, most of it is probably going to, because a lot of stuff takes a while to come back.
yeah. And just so you know, you guys, for anyone out there, yeah, Lewis went and got his eye patch today. So he's just tired, and I just was like, take it easy, man. Hopefully that helps. Obviously it must suck if you're drive. You know what I mean? That's why you gotta kiss your thumbs and fingers and eyes and every night and stuff like that, and be grateful, because when you don't have something or something goes on you, you know what? Okay, I have to tell you one quick story. Okay, so this one night the power went out about 3 weeks ago. Okay, so I have my iPad and I leave it on the kitchen counter, and then I go to the bathroom, and I can barely see, but I can see enough, right? And all of a sudden it goes pitch black, like pitch black. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, how did it just go pitch black? Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. I literally thought I went blind or something. I literally thought I went blind. So I am like, you know, trying to find the door to the bathroom and come walk out, and everything's just black, like black, black, black. And I'm just like, I'm panicking for a second. I'm going, honey, who doesn't hear me? And I'm like, honey. And then all of a sudden I feel my iPad on the counter, and then I hit the button, and then it lights up. So it went pitch black because my iPad in the kitchen was lighting up, like the room in a sense, in the bathroom as well. That's yeah. But I honestly, for a split second there, I literally thought maybe because of my diabetes or something, I literally thought I was blind for a minute. My anxiety just went. And so once I seen the light, I was like,
I see the light.
Honey, I mean, I
I
mean,
missed out.
you know what they used to tell me in church about going blind,
Mm.
and
That was,
what caused that?
yeah, that's a
You
whole
gotta watch
different.
it. You gotta be careful.
Yeah. All right, put my toys away is what you're saying. Okay, fine. But yeah, no, that panicked so bad for a moment there. Hey, Miss Dog Lover, how are you? But anyways, so yeah. So as for Lewis, hopefully it gets better because obviously that must really suck.
Yes.
Now he's gonna be like
Poor guy.
One Eye Jack, or
Poor
call
guy.
him Johnny Depp. No, sorry, can't replace Johnny Depp.
And we have to promise when he comes back on if he has an eye patch.
Yeah, make fun of him.
We're not gonna laugh, right?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Can we make a picture of him like with a pirate hat on and like
we'll all put on
parrot?
Yeah. I'll use one of the snap cam pirate emotes. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like, what are your plans?
Well, my plan was to leave because you just came in, actually, Miss Douglas.
Can I say our plans were to finish up soon, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, that was it.
I want to hear what you have to say.
I had nothing to say besides, yeah.
Oh.
We're gonna finish off here soon. Yeah.
I was just gonna give a little story before we finish tonight. This is how bad ADHD works sometimes. So, I've been trying to like do this like Madeline McCann video thing for a while, and of course, it's been a month and a half since I went to Portugal, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it over Christmas. So I'm like, I was like, oh, I need to do some background research and refamiliarize myself with facts of the case. So of course, today I come home and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back into it, because I wanted to get this video out. And so I start looking up stuff. 20 minutes, I'm researching it, pull up a YouTube thing, and I was, watching it, finished it. Get a suggestion to watch. I get a suggestion to watch. It was a video on the Titanic.
Okay.
My mind goes, oh, that's interesting. 2 hours later, I'm watching stuff about the Titanic.
Oh.
and then I fell asleep to take a nap. So I'm like, that's ADHD for you. I'm like, okay, yeah. Focus.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
But now I know what all of the interior of the Titanic looked like.
At least you learned something.
It's a good movie. I literally watch it for her to sing at the end.
Well, someone had done a video of they had done a 3D tour to walk you through the entire Titanic, and I was like, oh, well, I need to see that.
Oh.
In the midst of my Madeline McCann research.
Yeah. I've just honestly been in I want to relax mode. I don't care if I put out a video mode right now. I feel like I earned it to relax a little bit. So I just want to sleep and lie in bed with my iPad and get up when I need to. And tomorrow, I think if my sister's thing comes, her camera's done, I might be going over to my sister's tomorrow, I think. And then we might make that cake for her channel if it comes. I
might need your help at some point, Sunny. If I'm trying to set up this computer, I might be like, Sunny, how does a webcam work?
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to clean off my desk tomorrow and set up my computer.
Yeah, set up your computer. Then you'll be in love all over again. To be honest with you. And as for that whole Hudson, whatever Nancy was talking about earlier, the other two people that
Hannah.
Was the stuff that you sent me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just stuff that people sent me that, it's interesting, but,
I just don't know really anything too much about that stuff, to be honest with you. Like, something.
Yeah, Hudson died in a creek.
Yeah, and wasn't Maddie a roommate or something?
Well, Maddie was Hannah's roommate. Yeah, so, a lot of people are looking into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and Alexa, you have to get ready for tomorrow, and you need to get to sleep. I'm sure.
Uh,
Uh,
Look at you. Well, well,
I mean,
yeah. Look at Alexa. No, don't make me get off now.
no, I mean, I finished with everything. I just have other things to do, but I'm like, yeah, I'm just thinking about tomorrow. Don't even get
well,
me
we've been
Yeah.
on for over 2 hours tonight, so I mean, I think that
Yeah.
Well,
you
half
want
an
to do final
hour.
thought?
Okay. I personally don't have any final thoughts, but just to wish everyone, like I said, happy holidays, and hopefully you're enjoying your time with your family and friends, and or just relaxing and chilling out, and doing whatever. Um, yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm just trying to enjoy some
Right.
time here with my husband a bit.
I'm gonna
Because
drop my link in the channel again because
yeah,
nope,
I
I
think
lost a subscriber again.
Oh, did you? Isn't that funny? I always find that so funny. It's like someone just waits
It
to go, yeah,
goes up, goes down. It goes up one, goes down one.
yeah. Um, maybe if you had a dog, like Miss Dog Lover, and had a dog.
I'll be at 1,000 like 2 years from now apparently.
Mm. Yeah. Um, yeah, Miss Dog Lover. Thanks for stopping in. We're pretty much ending the live though now. Too bad. So sad.
Yeah, well, we're going to bed this time, Miss Dog Lover.
Well, yeah, technically not, but
So
yeah.
I need
Um,
Lisa. I need Lisa to make 25,000 fake profiles and subscribe to me on all of them.
there you go. Like on Twitch, I remember on Twitch you can buy like bots or whatever. And
You can. I think you can do it on YouTube. I've heard of people doing that.
oh, really? Mm. Um, I know that there's those Facebook groups that
I
you
can
can.
tell you a subscriber or two that does it.
Oh,
I can
really?
tell you a channel or two that might do it.
Oh, really? Ah, they just can't do it naturally, I guess. But I get it. You know. Mm,
No
mm.
one, no one we're affiliated with, but I have heard of. I've heard those rumors.
Well, I know that you can go to Facebook groups and then it's like you sub to me, I'll sub to you things. Like when you watch sometimes on people's little tips and tricks and stuff like that, and it's just like a fast way to help you out is this. I guess I just like the long way of getting somewhere.
I would never. That
You
would be.
know,
It's so. It was so inauthentic. I would never want
the
that.
thing, right? Because to be honest with you, I was watching this guy's video, and this is when I was just monetized or whatever. And I'm like, oh, they have these groups where you can do that. And then I'm like, yeah, I couldn't be
No
asked.
thanks.
Literally couldn't be
I'd rather have 670 subscribers forever
Yeah.
than to pay for fake ones.
Yeah, exactly. Because those subscribers that are just fake, I mean, you want people to view your videos, not just be fake subs. I
That's
guess. Well, I mean, each to their own. Honestly, um, I'm really biting my tongue on one YouTuber right now that just is I thought Greeno was disgusting.
Maybe
I said,
Friday.
yeah, I said to Adam, like, this YouTuber makes Greeno look like a peach. And honestly, he just a sap sucker, a sap sucking leech, a con artist. 69 people are watching right now, by the way. You know.
oh yeah.
Um no, but when you got Truth and Transparency on, and then Duty Ron and stuff like
We
that.
almost hit the 5,000 tonight. We were just a few short.
So just a few. Just we were getting just a few. Um, Miss Douglas was you look gorgeous. Goodnight, Ray Jones fell asleep in
Thank
his
you.
cornflakes. My throat's getting ticklish. I don't know if it's because of the pulpy orange juice or whatever. But yeah, it's just for me. It's just so disgusting when people like the true epitome of somebody that's making a profit off of deaths is literally somebody that keeps posting and posting and posting and posting and posting videos, and they're a con artist to behind it, and they're disingenuous, and they're doing it for only selfish reasons and not for any other reason. That's what I call profiting off of whatever. But those pieces of leeches and bottom feeders will always be out there. And knowing what you know about people, didn't matter what Greeno did to people. He still had his followers, and that always for me just shows me exactly where some people's mindsets are. Like, doesn't matter what that person does, it's almost like, like I said, when the shoe's on the other foot, let that person come into your real life and then tell me how much you wouldn't care. That's the joke of it always to me. But it's just if people actually did their checking sometimes on some of the backgrounds of these people, like I said, this person makes Greeno look like a peach, to be honest with you. Just when you thought someone couldn't be any more, well, there are low people, but it's one thing when you have redemption, but but which one was that? But this person like literally was spent years in prison for conning. But I'm not going to say any more than that right now.
Well, there's a few like that. There's a few really.
Oh, this one is a peach all by himself. Yeah, but no, don't get me wrong, because they're all out there. It's just it's just when, again, they play when people are cons and they use people, because there's those people out there that are what I call the easy victims, that literally fall for whatever people say and do and act like they're the nicest person. Really? Well, go look that person up, because chances are they ain't the nicest person in the world, or they're cons and you're literally donating to a con artist.
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, I see, and I told you the other night one that I thought that it was like that. I mean, she is literally milking people for literally lying, and I mean, it's okay. I mean, if you want, that's your cup of tea, it's okay. I just don't like it when they take it as truth, and right. I understand psychics and everything, but when they start making things and saying that that's the truth and that's just the way it is, that's wrong. You used to say it's for entertainment purposes only, but don't make it as truth.
Hey, Carol. Hey, Frank. Yeah. So, anyways, we're going to head off, you guys, tonight. You guys take care. What is today? We'll see you, I guess, on what is today?
Today's Wednesday. So, Friday.
So, chances are I'm probably not going to do a live Friday.
Okay, that's fine. Because we'll do on Saturday.
Yeah. So, I'm going to take Friday off as well. I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to get some rest and relaxation in before the new year.
Who knows? I'm off tomorrow, so maybe tomorrow night I'll get bored and I'll want to do it live.
Yeah,
so you never know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But Friday's probably a good night to take off.
Yeah,
I actually have plans Friday evening for a while anyway, so that could work. That actually would work well for me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And yes, too much, Mom. Yeah, that one, the one that made it into the Guinness Book of World Records. Yeah, that one. I cracked up the statements analysis channel. To be honest with you, means you are lying.
Thank you, Purdue.
That always, I gotta answer that one too, because Lisa cracks me up. That statements analysis channel says, "To be honest with you, means you are lying." Do you know that actually? I want to talk about that for a second, because I was actually going to bring that up the other night. I have a habit of saying, "To be honest with you." Those analysis people that say that can go kiss my butt.
We're not talking about CD. We're not talking about that crime analysis channel.
No. Yeah, no. But when I say to be honest, it's just an expression. It's just an expression. But for me, that means I'm just being honest with you. That's how, when I'm saying that, that's what that means. So when people say to be honest with you is meaning the alternative, as if, why do you need to say to be honest with you? Well, it's an expression that I grew up around. I use it. And for me, it has the meaning of, when I say something, I'm just being honest with you. That's what I mean when I say it. So it does make me laugh, because it's a common expression.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day.
I don't think that, at the end of the day, exactly. Like someone said that to my sister. My sister said, yeah, I say it all the time, but it's because she wasn't saying it on the live as much, but yet she uses it all the time. It's just an expression. When I say, to be honest with you, it's kind of like I said, in my head, I'm deeming it as, look, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not trying to bullshit you, just being honest with you. So that's how it it is for me. So I just
Right.
thought that was fun because I was going to mention it the other night about that expression.
Like when I say, in my opinion.
In my opinion, in my humble opinion, Anyways, good night, Sharon. Good night, Ray. Good night, Aspen. Good night, Alexa. Good night, Ray.
Good night, everybody, and
Alexa,
happy New Year. If I don't
thank
see
you
you
for
guys,
joining us, Alexa.
oh, thank you for.
Yeah, and we'll see you on Christmas or New Year's Eve if some people are bored. Okay, all right. Have a good night,
Hold your
guys.